Just a few years ago, there's two positions I noticed I was not able to get my body into. Basic positions for humans. I've been a martial artist and an active person all of my life. And even though I was still training my martial arts and I was strength training, what I realized is slowly over time, I was losing range of motion in my hips. The first position that I wasn't able to get into any longer was the primal squat or the deep squat. This is a natural position for humans that we have been using for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years. It's a natural resting position for different cultures of people all around the world, and I wasn't able to get down here. The second position was simply sitting crisscross, just like this. I couldn't get into this position very well. My knees were literally all the way up here, like in line with my shoulders. I had no external rotation in my hips anymore. Again, a very basic human position that we should be able to achieve the primal squat and being able to sit on the floor comfortably in this crisscross position. I want to share with you a few simple exercises that I started to do that completely remedied my tight hips, loosened things up, and then I was able to achieve these positions again in my late 30s, early 40s. And I noticed improvements in my hip range of motion pretty quickly. So the first exercise is what we refer to as the 90-90 position or shin box. Now, when I trained in Southeast Asian martial arts, we called this position sowa. A lot of different names for it, but basically what we're doing is we're sitting with our legs in this figure 4 kind of position. And we have the front leg here in hip external rotation, and the back leg here is in hip internal rotation. Now, the first goal is to be able to sit in this position relatively comfortably and upright. If it's difficult to achieve this position in the beginning, what you can do is you could take a block or some kind of pillow, a cushion, place it underneath your hips. This will bring your hips off the ground and take some of that pressure off of them. And then you can achieve this position a lot easier. And over time, you can take the object away and gradually lower yourself to the ground until you're seated flat on the ground. Now, once we're able to sit in this 90-90 position with our legs in this figure 4, then we can go ahead and start switching from side to side. Now, there's a lot of ways that we could do switches, but a nice, simple, basic one that really focuses on the hip rotation is first using the support of our hands and opening up that back leg into external rotation, and then that front leg now becomes the new back leg and internal rotation, being able to sit on the other side. And then just going back and forth here, really opening up the hips, and then all the way back to the seated position. Over time, you can take the assistance of the hands away and just rotate while seated. This takes a little bit more strength, muscle activation, not only in the core, but also in the hips. And you want to get your legs as wide as you can get them out here in front of you. And then have this front leg now pull that back leg over. So if you'd like to see more switches that we can do, I can make a full video on this position right here and all the different mobility options that we have from this seated position. It's all really good stuff to help open up your hips, get your core more activated. So if that's something that you'd like to see in the future, let me know down below and I'd be happy to make that video for you. Once we can sit in 90-90 pretty comfortably, we can rotate back and forth, we can add in another element of strength for the hips. And what that is being able to come up into a hip extension right here. And then gently seat ourselves back to the ground. Now, to start this, we're gonna use the assistance of the hands. So as we switch, use the hand to push off the ground and assist getting into this hip extension position. Seat back down, nice and gentle. Rotate to the other side, lift off of the hands, and go into this hip extension right here. Once you have that with the hands and you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, then take the assistance of the hands away and pull yourself up. A nice visual to do in the beginning to make this easier is imagine that you have a towel wrapped around a pole and you're grabbing that towel and pulling yourself up. That's gonna help build the strength to get into this lifted hip extension. Gently lower yourself down, switch it, and pull yourself up on the other side. Also to mention, once you're at the top right here, go ahead, give the glutes a squeeze, and then that works the entire wrapping around of the hip muscles. The goal here is slow and controlled movement. The next movement is more like a prerequisite for the movement that I really want to get to, but it's the horse stance. Being able to take a wide stance with your feet past hip and shoulders and squatting down as low as we can go until our thighs are about parallel to the ground. Now, this could be very difficult and demanding to achieve in the beginning. So instead of holding that horse stance in the beginning, what I like to start off with is just doing some repetitions of it. Squat down as low as you can and then ease yourself up back out of it. And go for reps here. One of the things we want to look for is we want to maintain as straight of a back as we can when we're working this horse stance. So if we're only able to get about this far down, that's fine. That's where we start. Over time, the hips open up and we can get lower and lower. So if there's a little bit of rounding in the back in the beginning, I'll accept it. But we really want to focus on pulling these shoulder blades back and keeping that back as straight as we can. Now, back in my Taekwondo days when I was a kid, we used to put our hands in this reverse punch chamber position because what that does is it activates the back muscles and it helps assist keeping that back straight. So let's go for 10 repetitions. And then what I like to do is on the 10th one, challenge yourself and see if you can hold it for at least 10 seconds. You'll feel that the horse stance is stretching out the hips while strengthening your groin muscles, your hips, your quads, your knees. Everything on the lower body is getting activated. Even some core all the way around from the abs, all around to the back of the spine. The final exercise that we're going to be looking at today is the big dog. And this is the one that really opened up my hips and allowed me access into that deep primal squat again. And basically what we're gonna do is take a wide horse stance and we're gonna load into one leg while keeping the other leg straight. We're gonna come down as low as we can, back up, go through the horse stance, back down on the other side for the exercise known as the cossack squat. Now there's a couple ways that we can do the cossack squat. We can keep the toes up on that straightened leg, or we can work on achieving a flat foot. Now, in some martial arts, this is called a deep back stance. So in martial arts, you'll see this sometimes, this position. Really good for opening up the groins, the hips, while strengthening at the same time. And that's the goal of how we make faster gains in our mobility, is when we can hit a stretch but also strengthen at the same time. A couple things that might happen in the beginning while first working the cossack squat is as you're lowering yourself down into that leg, the heel may want to come up. Maybe don't have the strength yet, maybe don't have the range of motion in the ankle yet. This is acceptable in the beginning. Okay, totally fine, because we could always work on lowering that heel to the ground. Also, if we don't have the balance yet, you might need to use your hand as assistance here. That is absolutely okay as well. I find it's a little bit easier to begin with the toe in the up position of that lengthened leg. And then over time, we can work on keeping that foot flat. The big thing is that we want to pass through this horse stance right here as we switch sides. So even if we're only able to go down a little bit, that is a great place to start. And you're going to notice that you're making gains in that hip mobility. These 3 exercises is all it took for me to achieve the deep squat position and being able to sit crisscross again. Doesn't matter which leg I have out in front. And I was able to achieve this in my late 30s, early 40s, and it actually happened pretty quickly. So even though that I was an active person for all those years leading up, I didn't realize how much rotation I was slowly losing in the mobility of my hips. And when I was 39, I said, this is not acceptable. I couldn't get into these simple positions. So I told myself by the time I'm 40, I'm working on my mobility so I could regain these positions. So I started right away, and in very little time, just by using these 3 exercises, I was able to get back down here and be comfortable low to the ground. It doesn't take a whole lot. Even just spending about 10 to 15 minutes a day working these basic exercises. In the beginning, just do 1 set, 1 round of all of them, and then you can up it to 2 rounds, up it to 3 rounds, and that's all it really takes. These 3 movements are so potent in getting your hip mobility back, but also getting that strength back in the hips as well, that you can move around on the ground again. Hey, do me a quick favor, and if you like this video, want to see more stuff like this, hit that thumbs up button for me. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or you'd like to see any other additional exercises that I have in store for you, let me know down in the comments and I'd be happy to help you out any which way that I can. And if you're new to the Longevity Brothers channel here, hit that subscribe button because we got a lot coming. And that's what it's all about here at the Longevity Brothers, is building and maintaining longevity in the capability and capacity of our bodies for all of our days, that we can age gracefully and we can enjoy and keep living a kick-ass life. Hey, look way up there. Look, you see that? That's the limit, baby.